Hello everyone, this is week 5 and this is an online module, fully online. There's no Zoom, no face-to-face, but I am here this week to support you via email, text message, um, and phone calls. So there's 5 steps to completing this module. The first one is watching this movie so that you know the expectations. The second one is reading Friend and Bursic, Chapter 9, and then you're finally going to upload your veteran teacher observation protocol, and you're going to complete the IRIS module on response to intervention, and it's just an overview, and then complete activity 4. So let's go through. Like, here is the chapter 9 in the Bursic or Friend and Bursic, and you can see that they're going over how to change the way that you plan your content, your process, and your product in your class. I think it's a really, really helpful chapter for all teachers to make sure that they're really familiar with. In my research, when I've gone out and I've asked teachers, how do you help diverse learners in your classroom? And they say differentiation of instruction. And I say, how do you do that? And oftentimes they aren't able to answer that question as well. And so this is our opportunity to really kind of unpack what it means to differentiate your instruction. So once you have that finished, I did let you know at the very first class about the veteran teacher observation protocol, and that you needed to go and find a, is it not going to let me? Let me stop. There we go. Looked like Blackboard was having a little glitch. But anyway, we went over this the very first night, where you are going to find a teacher who's taught in the classroom with both general ed and special ed students for over 3 years, and is identified as a proficient educator. I want to know how many students are general ed, how many have IEPs, how many are ELL, if there's any sort of aides or support people, like paraprofessionals in the classroom during the observation, what the school name is, the subject. And then I just want to know what the teacher did that was great in working with all the students. And also maybe something that you noticed that they could actually grow on. And then finally, the summary of the experience. So what went well? What supports could the teacher use to support all students? How might this experience change your teaching practice? So it's just kind of this is what happened. So that is the teacher observation protocol. And as you can see, it's worth 20 points. And let's go back, to the Blackboard. Boom, boom. And so then you will upload that document right there. And it should be about a 45-minute, at least 45-minute observation. The next thing is the IRIS module. So this is the link to the IRIS page. And once again, this is what an IRIS module looks like. And I condensed it the last time for you, but basically there's 5 sections to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those same sections go along here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you start with the challenge, and they have a video here for you to watch, and then they ask you questions. Now on the document that I created for you, I actually have those exact questions written down in a Word document. So you can actually click right here, and these same questions are the ones you'll find on in the module. So then you go through, and now we're on the perspectives and resources, and you can see, let me just make this a little shorter, you can see that in this module, there are 10 pages in the perspectives and resources, and then they've got links to the different standards that they're meeting. Of course, the last page is where they give credit to everybody who worked on it, and then you hit next. See, now we've got the credits there. You hit next, and that's actually the wrap-up. So this kind of pulls the whole module together. And then the very last link is the assessment. So then they give you 4 questions here at the end, that now you've finished your module, what are your thoughts on response to intervention? So I also follow that same model. So let's see, The first one is, what are two options for identifying students? And then you can see, what are two options for identifying students with learning disabilities? Briefly summarize each one. So I followed this module exactly as it was written. Then the very last thing we're doing is activity 4. And so I want you to use your textbook and your personal experience. We don't have in-class time for this chapter. So this one's just using your textbook and personal experience, and I have 4 questions. Describe ways you can differentiate instruction, content, process, and product for students by teaching pre-skills, sequencing instructional examples, introducing new skills at appropriate rate, providing additional instruction, practice, and review. And then number 2 is describe accommodations you can make when activating background knowledge, organizing content, and teaching terms and concepts. Number 3 is how can you make modifications in your classroom material and activities for diverse learners. And then I define those as students with IEPs, English language learners, and any low-income students who might be dealing with additional stressors. And then the feedback I'd like from you this week is, how is the textbook supporting your learning? Is there any way that I could support you in applying the information included in your text? So this is really important to me. My intention every week is to really bring the text to life by having us talk about this in class. So as you can see here, everything for this module is due by the 26th, and then we'll be meeting on the 27th to kind of go over all of these pieces and continue moving on, evaluating our practice and what we can do to be the best teachers possible. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you, and please reach out if you have any questions.